What is it? Done. Welcome back, everybody. My name's Alex. I'm a Zumi store manager coming to you live from the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida. I got the homie with me right here. Say hi to everybody. Just wanted to give a major shout out to Garfield. He is not here with us this time. He just had his child last night. So congratulations, Garfield. Take it away, Key. Thanks, buddy.
Shout out to Garfield. I'm actually at his store. I'm Key, another Zumi store manager at Sugarloaf Mills in Georgia. Alex, bro, I'm stoked to be with you live in his store, bro. How you feeling over there in Florida?
It's going pretty good over here. We got a lot of humidity going on right now, a lot of rain, good old Florida. How's everything going up in Georgia?
In Georgia, bro, it feels good. I will not have a lot of humidity. Actually feels kind of good. So, bro, for everyone who wasn't in here last time, can you tell them a little bit about what exactly stand-up TV is?
So Stand Up TV is a monthly live stream all about Zoomies Stand Up. All of you watching will have a chance to test your news knowledge, win prizes, as we show you how your vote back in November is shaping what's going on in the world today. We'll have discussions with Voto Latino, Rock the Vote, and interviews with brands raising their voices. Plus, for everybody watching in the Discord and listening in the Discord, we want to hear what you're all doing in your community. Every month, we'll feature one of you on the show and hook you up with a Zoomies gift card. You heard right, a Zoomies gift card. You're up, Key. Let's hear it.
Being a Zoomies gift card. All right, so y'all drop, and we might have a few surprises for you if you do Voto Latino, joining us to help break down a few of the biggest news stories directly connected to your vote. All right. Then we've also got Dusty LeGrande, who is the founder of Mobilize, joining us to tell us about the brand and what they're standing up for.
We'll be right back, guys. And we're back, guys. I hope you missed us. We missed you. Hey, Key, what time is it?
It's time to test your news knowledge. Let it with your news quiz. Do you?
I think I'm losing you a little bit there, Key. So, viewers, it's time to test your knowledge with our news quiz. Do you know the news?
Here's how this is going to work. We have a bunch of trivia from this week's news for you to answer. Drop your answer in the chat and we'll pick from the correct answer with a random win.
Guess the right answer, and you've got a good shot at a prize from Mobilize and a $25 gift card. I'm going to pass it back to you, Keith.
I'm back. Did you hear me?
Oh, we hear you good and clear. Let's get rolling.
So we got a bunch of trivia from that, and we'll pick from the correct answer with a random win. Alex, what could they win?
Guess the right answer, and you got a good shot again.
All right, let's get rolling. Here's the first question. Here's the first question. Chile in the Olympic ceremonies.
I think we're having some connection issues with Key over here. All right, guys. If you guessed the right answer, you got a good shot at a prize from Mobilize and a $25 Zoomies gift card if you answer this question correctly. Which Nike athlete concluded the torch relay in the Olympic ceremony? Here's a hint. They had a Netflix special drop this month. Go ahead and submit your answers, guys. Submit your answers. All right. We'll get on with the story. Key, do you want to take off with the story?
Yeah, bro. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All right. So the answer is going to be Naomi. This champion tennis player who is only 23 got to do the honors. Naomi has been incredibly vocal, recently advocating for the mental health and taking a step back from completing to focus on her own mental health. From her first opening match will be coming up from the last 2 months she's been sitting out.
That's pretty awesome. 23, that's pretty young to hit such an awesome accomplishment.
Yeah.
It looks like I've got, that's pretty awesome. It looks like I've got the next question. Cleveland's baseball team has changed their name to what? I'll give you guys a hint. There is no hint. Get your answers in as soon as possible. As soon as possible. How you feeling so far, Key? Are you excited about the Olympics?
I am excited about the Olympics. I saw the gymnastics portion. That was pretty lit. And I heard they added skating to the Olympics.
Whoop, that's awesome. That's awesome. Waiting for that answer one more time. One more time on the answer. The answer is going to be Guardians. The team is officially dropping their controversial Indians name, which they had used for the last 100 years. And the winner for that, Key, did you catch the winner for that answer?
I did not. Do you have a winner for that answer?
Anybody? One more text. One more message. Who won? Who is going to be the winner for the Guardians? Atomic Punk 420. You're a winner. I'm going to pass it over to Key for our third question.
All right, third question, y'all. EU drafted a new set of climate regulations to help meet its pledge to cut emissions by 55% over this decade. Under this new draft, they want it to phase out gasoline and diesel cars by when? Hint, it is within the next 50 years. When do they want to phase out gasoline?
Can you believe that gasoline is already being phased out? That's awesome. It's like coal
Tesla.
100 years ago. Yeah, Tesla. That's like the new cool thing right now.
All right, what do y'all think?
They're getting their answers in. Get those answers in.
Who is it gonna be?
Get those answers in.
All right, happy camper. Yes, you are right. The answer is 2035. All right, y'all. The European Union on Wednesday proposed an effective ban on the sale of new petroleum or petrol on the diesel cars from 2035, aiming to speed up the switch to zero emissions electric vehicles as part of a board package of measures to combat global warming.
It's pretty intense. We've got a lot of things going on right now, Key. It looks like I've got question number 4. If you guys are ready, don't hesitate with those answers. Let's get them in. Which popular chip company's workers have been striking for hiring more workers, wage increases, and better overall working conditions? I'll give you guys a hint. One of the company's more popular mascots is Chester the Cheetah. I could really go for some Cheetos right now. Flamin' Hot Cheetos. It's the answer every time.
What's the line?
The answer every time. What's that?
With the Cheetos with the lime, the Flamin' Hot with the lime.
I actually haven't had those, surprisingly. I must be missing out, hey?
Yeah, you gotta try those. Next time you get a bag, get those.
And it looks like we have Resmain. You answered correctly. It's gonna be Frito-Lay. Hundreds of workers who make Cheetos, Lay's potato chips, and other popular snack foods that we love at a Frito-Lay plant in Topeka, Kansas, have been on strike since July 5th, protesting poor working conditions despite the companies having extremely successful recent quarters. I'm going to pass it over to Key.
All right, last question, everybody. Win a gift card. Y'all ready? Which U.S. state is now denying oil drilling permits? Hint, it's on the West Coast.
That's a pretty big hint.
It could be any.
That's a pretty big hit, though. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
That is kind of a big hit. So y'all should get it.
We should have answers firing off. Let's get those keyboards going. Let's get those keyboards going. Blah, 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 blah.
All right, emotional Ghana.
Emotional
You got it right.
Gandhi.
It's California. Gandhi, that's who it was. My bad. You got
Emotional
it right.
Gandhi.
California denied 21 oil drilling permits in July in the latest move towards ending hydraulic fracturing in the state that makes millions from the petroleum industry, but is seeing widespread drought and more dangerous fire seasons linked to the climate change. There we go.
That's pretty intense. Props to everybody in the chat. That's super sick. Congrats to all of our winners. Next up, we're going to be right back with our fan favorite Camille for a round 2. That's going to be our next segment, the update with Voto Latino. We'll be right back, guys.
And we're back, and I want to say welcome back to Stand Up TV, Camille. We know you go between Texas and DC. Where are you joining us from today? And what have you been doing since the last time we spoke?
Yeah, I'm in DC. I was in Texas for a bit for this month, doing some important work at the state capitol, but also visiting friends and family. So I'm stoked to be back in the capital city and even more excited to be joining y'all today. Thanks for having me.
How was your time with your family? Everything going good over there?
Yeah, everything's great. You know, we did a lake trip. I did a beach trip with a lot of my friends too. So really fun. You know, personally super grateful to be vaccinated. I'm able to see people I love and be in community.
I'm right there with you.
It was a great time. Yeah.
I'm right there with you. So how nice it is to travel comfortably again. Get in on it, guys. Get in on it. Push me out of the way if you have to. We're stoked to have you back on with us, Camille. So on this segment, we're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive into some recent news that directly connects with all the votes last November. We're going to cover 4 topics in 10 minutes. We're going to try to cover 4 topics. We'll probably go a little further than that. First up, Camille, can you share with us a little bit about what's happening in Texas with the voter rights?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot, but I'm happy to be here to tell you all about it. So the Texas legislature, the way it works, it convenes every odd year. So 2021, we're in an odd year. So it was in session. During our session this year, we saw some very restrictive voting measures pass into law, specifically Senate Bill 1111. So basically this piece of anti-voter legislation that is now law and will enact in October of this year prohibits people with PO boxes to register to vote. So, you know, that immediately I think of when I was a college student living on campus, I had a PO address, right? So this is a super restrictive measure on registering to vote that just got passed. But what we're seeing happening this month is even more anti-voter legislation being passed through. So Greg Abbott called a special session to run starting July 8th until like about the first or second week of August. The priority of the session, among other things is to pass prohibitive anti-voter legislation. What really is upsetting as a Texan to be able to report back to y'all is that Texas is already, before these pieces of legislation even get introduced or enacted, is already the state with the most restrictive voting process. So, you have to register to vote in Texas within 30 days prior to the election, which, is difficult. Like, not many people will remember that. Recent legislation as well has reduced the number of polling stations drastically and has really made it difficult for voters to cast their ballot in the state. So, what's happening in Texas, though, is that this legislation isn't being passed through because the Texas Democrats on July 12th, I think it was a Monday, they straight up and left Texas. They're in DC right now, and because they're in DC, the Texas legislature doesn't have quorum to cast a ballot to enact these anti-voterization bills into law. So, at Voto Latino, we're super actively monitoring the situation. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, IG, Facebook to stay up to date with what's going on. We'll be sure to update y'all. But yeah, it's an interesting situation we're monitoring. I was there at the Texas Capitol on July 13th, the morning after Texas Dems left to DC. A lot of Texans were there with us, mobilizing, protesting, just there at the Capitol. Yeah. There's a lot of anger and frustration, but I'm really hoping that, we find a stop to these very restrictive bills.
It's been a crazy year so far, and I think that it's just, I think everybody just kind of needs a break. We're hoping it all works out in your favor for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass the torch over to Key for our next question.
All right, so I got the next topic. Camille, can you shed light on the current DACA situation and how viewers can follow along with how they can help impact the decision?
Yeah, so DACA, DACA, whatever, DACA, DACA, whatever, that's the acronym, right? It stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. It was started by President Obama back in 2012, I want to say, and it really works to allow undocumented immigrants who arrived to the U.S. as children to be protected from deportation, allows them to also work and attend school, and also allows them to obtain a driver's license. So this DACA is just an incredibly important piece of legislation that works for undocumented folks. So on July 16th, 2021, also in Texas, a federal judge ruled DACA illegal, saying that President Obama exceeded his authority when he created the program. So this throws into question, yet again, the fate of dreamers or people who are DACA recipients. So this ruling means that, DHS, or the Department of Homeland Security, can continue to accept new applications, but it's temporarily prohibited from approving them. The court says people who already have DACA will not lose DACA as a result. It also means that folks can renew DACA for now too. So, at Voto Latino, among other organizations and people who work in the space, we're monitoring the situation. We really, are calling on the Biden administration to appeal this ruling, and we're calling on our congressional representatives to step in with legislative remedy to really deem DACA's legality, and also to really, provide a clear pathway of citizenship for DACA recipients. So if you'd like to help the fight around DACA, I encourage you to visit our website, votolatino.org, or to visit us on Instagram at votolatino. We have a really sick DACA infographic that was posted this past week. Share that with your friends and get educated on the issue and take action with us.
A couple clicks is all it takes, guys. Back up a good cause. Do it. Do it. Do it. I think it's my turn again, Key.
It's your turn, bro.
All right. So, Camille, going back to the whole vaccination thing, you just stated that you're vaccinated. I'm also vaccinated. Can you tell us more about the vaccination rates and how we can make sure our loved ones are protected against the variants?
Yeah, for sure. So
I love my grandma.
Yeah. So as of July 16th, I looked it up. 56.6% of the U.S. population over the age of 12 has been fully vaccinated. this is a great number, but we could be doing better. I know getting vaccinated is ultimately your choice, but I can say fully from my experience being vaccinated, so much worry and stress isn't a part of my daily life and routine anymore. I'm able to be in spaces with vaccinated friends, enjoy so many more things than I did when we were in quarantine. So yes, please get vaccinated if you haven't already. And if you have questions, visit our website, visit the CDC website. There are several resources to help answer any questions you may have, or even talk to your physician or doctor. But not to shine a dim light on things or anything, but a recent study came out that said that more than 99% of recent COVID-19 deaths were among unvaccinated people. And over 97% of COVID-19 hospitalizations were among unvaccinated people as well. So, get it done. Like there are resources to answer any vaccine questions you may have. We also have a resource in partnership with Uber. So if having a ride to get to and from your vaccine appointment is a barrier, you can call this number, 1-855-497-2117 to receive free Uber rides to and from vaccine appointments. Again, that number is 1-855-497-2117. And we have this number all over our Twitter and Instagram. So if you don't remember it, just visit us at Voto Latino, DM us even, and we'll hit you back with this number.
That's awesome. Let's hope here in a short time frame that number will be way higher than it is right now. And I just have to say, this feels so nice out here. Just going out, some sense of what is normal. I guess Definitely. It's this. I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna pass it back to Key, I think.
All right. Last but definitely not least, Camille, can you tell us about student debt, the current state of the student debt and canceling it, and how we will be able to affect the decision?
Yeah, so a major headline 2 weeks ago was that the student debt crisis in the US has reached $1.8 trillion. And as many of us who are paying off loans, including myself, know that the payments resume this October. So, at Voto Latino and my personal stance as well, we know that President Biden has the power to cancel at least $50,000 of student loan debt per borrower. So our organization is working to call on Mr. President to do the right thing, to really help us out and cancel student loan debt. So if you want to join us in this fight, visit votolatino.org, student debt, sign our petition, share our information with your friends. And, I'm personally tracking this issue closely. I really hope to see some sort of resolution because, the power of our vote allows us to elect officials who run on canceling student debt platforms. So us as voters and citizens have every right to, communicate with our elected officials and tell them that this is what we want.
Camille, it seems like you have a lot of stuff going on. I'm glad that you're able to travel and be a part of all these great causes and hopefully you're having an enormous amount of fun in the process. I'm sure there's never a dull moment. That's the update with Voto Latino, guys. If you're at home sitting in your chair, round of applause. That's awesome. We're stoked for you guys. Camille, before I let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to say to our audience?
Just thank you all for joining. Thank you for getting educated, for seeking out news, for staying up to date. I really appreciate it. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Camille. I'm definitely going to follow you guys on all social media platforms to help back that cause. That's so awesome. We're going to go check in with Cassidy on our field report to check in on her community and test their knowledge of everything happening in the news and pop culture recently. Following that, we'll be right back with Dusty from Mobilize. Guys, please do not go anywhere. Sit tight. We will be right back.
Hey guys, this is Cassidy Priest, District Manager out of Utah. We are here today to hand out some gift cards. We are going to be doing a segment once a month for Stand Up, and if you get 3 of the 5 questions correct, you'll win a gift card. This is all about current events, so let's check and see who actually knows what's going on in the world. Question number 1. Can either of you name 2 Supreme Court judges?
Roberts, Thomas, Breyer.
Roberts
1.
and Sotomayor. Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's 2.
All right.
Which teen pop star recently went to the White House press conference to talk about the COVID-19 vaccinations?
Harry Styles, I don't know.
The good for you girl, do you remember her name?
It's Olivia Rodrigo.
It is! Dude, good for you! It is Olivia Rodrigo! She sings.
Olivia Rodrigo.
It is!
It's Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia Rodrigo.
It is! Good for you! You got it right! China has said that this animal is no longer endangered. It is giant pandas!
Is it like the giant pandas?
It is! It's the great pandas.
Oh, panda. Giant panda.
Pandas.
It is pandas! So there's a movie that came out 20 years ago that's a hit today.
Titanic.
Okay, it is blonde. Do you know who Reese Witherspoon is?
No.
Legally blonde. It is
Yep. Legally Blonde.
Reese Witherspoon.
Legally blonde.
It is legally blonde. Which country has been hit by devastating once in a 1,000-year flooding? India. China? Not China.
The Philippines.
It is not the Philippines.
Mexico.
Not Mexico.
Germany.
It was Germany.
Germany.
It is Germany. It's sad.
Japan.
Oh, you were so close. It's actually Germany. Oh, okay. Where did you get these questions from? We got people that do this. You guys can split a $50 gift card. I guess. Thank you. This is not one. Yay! You want a $50 gift card? All right, guys, get a $50 gift card.
Thank
you. Yay!
Thank you.
Spend it in your own store.
Deal.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you for being a part of this show.
And we are back. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm very excited to introduce our special guest, Dusty Legrande from Mobilize. Thank you both so much for joining us today. Would you mind briefly introducing yourself and your brand to our audience?
Yeah, so Dante,
Get in here.
which is
Get in there. Get in there.
hello in Cree. I'm a Nehiel person from originally from Wabasca, Alberta. I live currently in Amiskwichiwaskaegan, which is the Cree way to say Edmonton, Alberta, up here in Canada. For me, it was just like growing up, as an Indigenous person, I didn't see myself in many spaces. And so I hooped, I played ball all over the States during high school, got to like go around and got to share stories and create community with people. And I wanted to create something in my life that I could do that freely. And so for me, it came with clothing. I always loved clothing. I wanted to create a brand for Indigenous youth to be able to see themselves, to be able to learn about themselves, but also to teach non-Indigenous people about the beauty of Indigenous art, Indigenous clothing, but also like storytelling through clothing. So that's kind of what I do with clothes. I've been lucky to do like fashion shows all across Canada. I had got invited to New York Fashion Week right before COVID hit, so hoping to hit that one up soon. But also just like being able to leave a legacy for my children. And a lot what we do in Indigenous culture is about looking forward to 7 generations, looking forward to the impact that your moment has on the future. And so everything that I do is very thought through and conscious that way. And being a part of Zoomies, getting into Zoomies was kind of a dream for me, for those young youth that shop there, for all the young skaters, all the young hip hop kids, like all of them, just to be able to walk in and be like, yo, is that an Indigenous brand? And just start to open the door that way. And I see kind of my mission just that, just to kick down some doors because like my kids, the next generation, they're powerful. So it's just creating the space for them, and what they'll do will kind of change everything.
That's so awesome.
That's dope, bro. I want to hear a little bit more about what inspired you to start Mobilize, and where the name come from.
So the name came in a funny way, because like when I was designing, conceptualizing this brand, I was calling it We the Cree. I'm a Nahiyao person. I introduce myself that way. That's my nation. Most people know it as Cree, which is a mislabel. So when the French people were in Canada connecting with the Cree people, us Cree people, we have a lot of calls and hollers. So we saw a new trading opportunity. We were excited. And in French, they were saying the cries, la Cree, la Cree, la Cree, which then became the Cree. But we've never used that term. So as a Nahiyao person, which just means our people, I wanted to like give something to everybody, because I don't feel like art or clothing, anything you do is just you. Like there's lots of spiritual presence, there's ancestors, there's community around you. So it wasn't just for me, it wasn't just We the Cree, it wasn't just gonna be one nation. And I had wrote down what this meant to me, what this brand meant to me. Before I started designing, before I did anything, I was kind of writing everything down. And so I had broke it down to like this paragraph of like, this is what it's about. Like, this is what I'm trying to do. And Mobilize was just one of those words. And with everything that's gone on and the warfare and the stage that we're at, that term being a military term was intentional, because this was kind of like a coming to life as an Indigenous person, just to be like, no, I'm gonna tell my story and I'm gonna tell it authentically. And I don't give a fuck what you think, but I'm coming and you're gonna hear it. And so it was my own little war. So it was kind of like, yo, let's mobilize, let's do what we do. And the way that I've been taught is that you don't compete with nobody. Like, this is your journey, So I use this concept of this brand to not only tell my story, but to highlight others, like to do some real rad collabs. I've been able to collab with some of the dopest Indigenous artists across Canada. And it's just a way for myself and other people to take that back, to be able to tell our own stories, like what people learn in school, what people learn on TV, what people learn in news, like it ain't true. Like, it's not who we are, and it's not even kind of what I've been taught. And it was very interesting to hear about like a few of the things Camille was talking about with the kids and the different bills being passed about not letting them in. And that's like, yo, if this was still, if my Glukum, which is grandmother in Cree, was still running things here, because we're a matriarchal society, our women ran things. It's a welcoming place, it's inclusive. Those kids would never be left out, like so I come from a different community in that way. And so what I'm trying to do with Mobilize, with this brand, is just create a movement of different thinkers, and to create community, and just to take it.
Get in there, guys. Get in there.
Not wait for them to create space for us.
Come on.
Just start to do it.
Say what up. What up?
Yo.
What up? What up? We got some customers saying what up. Mobilize.
What's good?
Dusty, and I do want to go a little bit more in that while you're on the subject. On your site, it's on the Mobilize website, excuse me. It says that you want to empower others. Like, what does empowerment mean to you? And how do you feel we can do a better job with empowering one another?
Mm-hmm. I think it's like, everything for me comes back to a small place of like self-love, getting to that place of self-love. And it's a journey for each of us, and it's different, and it doesn't just stop, like you don't get to that place and then you're good. You have to keep loving yourself. You have to evolve, you have to grow. And so for me, to empower people is just to, in any way, find ways to show them that, as a man, to speak about the softness, as a father, to talk about what it means to be a father, and to talk about my role as well. And even just with my nation, to be able to share teachings and knowledge. I know coming up, like I was around a lot of gatekeepers in business, in sports, that just don't let you in. They want to hold all the knowledge. And so for me, what I'm trying to do with Mobilize is just flip that script too. So I offer people all the time, hit me up. If you got questions about streetwear, you got questions about design, hit me up, I'll tell you all the secrets. Cause like, I'm here for everyone to win. I'm not just here for me to win. I'm here for all of them. So all the young designers, I work with a lot of young cats here in Canada, and just telling them like how I figured things out. Because my journey with design, I had to just figure it out. And I would just wing it. I was brave enough to just be like, fuck it, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna fake it till I fake it, type of thing. Yeah. So like, so now it's just kind of giving back. And last year, I was really lucky. I got to launch a scholarship. So I have within the brand, a design scholarship for emerging Indigenous designers. It's my way to create community, but also to like, the 2 cats that got the scholarship last year, one Scott Wabano, just blowing up. He got 2 Spirit Streetwear out of Toronto, extremely dope. He's done covers of Fashion Canada already. The other cat is a local dude, J Cat, who's just like a brilliant artist. And it's so cool to be able to just like work alongside of them and then just watch them grow and watch them like just with a few tools, what they can do. And I think that's like, as a leader, as a mentor, that's what I just kind of like hand over some tools to some people and watch them grow. Even within the brand, like my oldest child, who's only 7 now, has designed 6 hoodies so far for the brand. Started designing when he was 4, and so maybe one day Zoomies will have his hoodies too. But yeah, he designs with the brand. They sell out like crazy.
Tight.
But like it's so cool, and being able to see that as a father, he has a savings now, and what he's saving for is a laptop and his own Photoshop subscription, so he can kick me out completely. And so what I'm doing, like even with Mobilize, I'm like, I only got a short timeline because my kids are just gonna kick me out soon and take over this. But that's what's the best to me, is just like even hearing them dream. Because for me, you know, like as a youth, I was very disconnected. I didn't really know who I was. It took me a long time to find myself, to love myself. And so to be able to hear my kids just dream like that and just think the world is so free and they can do whatever they want is just beautiful. So when it comes to empowerment, that's what I'm trying to do. Just get to that place to make sure that people can dream.
Yeah.
And part of that is like seeing yourself, you know, like in spaces like Zoomies, being able to just be like, yo, there's people that's done it. I can do it.
Literally just listening to you talk makes me feel empowered. That's so rad. Keep moving. I love the name. I'm gonna pass that next question off to Key.
All right, so based off your new job, it looks like you might be a golfer. Tell us about how you use golf or anything else to decompress.
So I would say more than I'm a golfer, I'm a hustler. So I just found some rad fuzzy golf club covers, and I was like, yo man, I want to do some golfing. And so what I do with Mobilize is like I just create, and what comes up, what's around, gets created. A lot of like the fashion show stuff, that side of it is like fully creative reuse, upcycle things. And so I just, with Indigenous culture, like the way that we did art was always like what's around us, like even in our clothing. If you look way back at old archive photos, you'd see that the people, what they wore, even like the furs or the beadwork, it told who they were, what nation they were from, what animals they ate. It told the story about them. And so what I'm trying to do just with Mobilize is keep telling that story. And so like my little cousin is a super good golfer. And so it's kind of around our family. My brother is super into golf right now. And it's just about creating things and taking that concept to many new spaces. And so what's really funny about it is the photo shoot we did, that was my first time golfing. And so that's what I mean. I'm just a hustler. Like, so you thought I was a golfer, so it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just like
you go out there robbing these guys. Yeah.
But it's just being able to take.
I'm quite the golfer, so I feel you right now.
Yes, yeah.
11 handicap. Let's go. Yeah. You just made a fan out of me. I'm so excited right now. I'm gonna buy some of your collab if it's still available, just to represent.
Yeah. There's a few on the site. Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah. I just mess around because like, you know, life is too much. There's too much shit going on. I like to keep things light with it. And so like even with the golf thing, like it was fun. Like I had a lot of fun creating that and being able to like take that concept to that space. I also like to use Mobilize as a way of like infiltrating into spaces. So the golf world is not great. There's not a lot of indigenous people in it. There's a certain group that golfs. And so this was also like to speak to them and just be like, yo, when you're on the golf course, you got all these like cis hetero dudes who don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. They need to evolve. Like just throw that concept in their face, be like, yo, we rep Mobilize, what's up? And because like I do that with the brand, you know, like I have certain pieces that are super political. We had a racism thing going down with Ethan Bear, one of the pro hockey players here from Edmonton. When the Oilers got eliminated, the people from the city just like got racist on it. Like there was racist comments in his DMs and different things. And so I made a fuck racism shirt in the Oilers colors. I just be like, okay, you want the Oilers people to look at you and read your shirt and let them know what you stand for. And like we ain't doing that no more. It's just kind of that. And that's what I think is just like with those types of people, it's time for us to just ostracize them. They're out now. Like, you know, like just go to your country club. We'll have our own over here.
From one major golf fan to another, going outside and just getting away from all the bullshit. It's so nice and awesome, and that's so fun, dude. That's so awesome. I'm blown away right now. I wasn't expecting that. But aside, we have a few more questions to get on. Aside from the recent golf collection that dropped, what else is upcoming that we can keep an eye out for?
Well, I had a drop today, and it's called. It's
what?
The second. I had a drop last Monday. I have a drop today. I have a drop next Monday. I have a drop the Monday after. So
no rest for the wicked.
Yeah. And this is like I only started doing this thing full time about 1 year ago. So building the brand, I was always working and then building the brand and trying to like get the story out, trying to tell people about it, create a following, little things like that I was trying to do at the beginning. And so it got to the place finally that I could do it full time. I have 3 kids. So for me, it you don't have to make sure they're good. I couldn't just go out on a whim and make sure. But at the same time, I wanted to be able to have this piece because I worked in nonprofit. I worked in like government sectors. I worked for the city in different ways. And I've tried to affect change in those roles. And I always had to come up battling this system. There was always the system pushback. And so for me, it was like, okay, I'm gonna create a business. Then I can say what I want and you guys can't do nothing about it. And so that was part of like my journey of doing Mobilize, which is kind of cool, Alex, that you brought up, just keep moving, because the Mobilize Waskawiwin is our Cree word for movement. And that's what the brand is called, is the Mobilize movement. And it's fluid,
so
it's inclusive.
It's so good.
And like, I have a couple of shows coming up, and with what, like I drop all the time. So I wouldn't even tell you about anything specific coming out, because like there might be different stuff that comes by then.
We just got to stay tuned.
Yeah.
We got to be on top of it, bro.
Yeah, but like with what I do always, everything's gender free. So like everything that you ever see with Mobilize, you are male, female, you identify in any way, you identify as a blanket, whatever it is, it's for you. Like this is just people, man. Like, and that's what I'm getting to. And fashion show stuff and challenging those gender roles and challenging these concepts, they don't exist in our culture. And so just showing people that like this is a human being movement, like this is about human beings. And if you can't treat people right, like there's been people dropped from my circle, there's been people that have fell off the brand because they just didn't move with that energy. And it's for all those young kids that are finding themselves, it's for all of them. And so everything I do is for them. The drop I had today was called the Star People DNA, which is Zoomies has one shirt that has the DNA strand, and this was a few other pieces, and it's about reminding people that the language, the culture, all of it exists in their DNA. No matter how disconnected they've been from things, no matter how much they're trying to find themselves, that brilliance as a human being, it exists within you. It exists in all of us. That power to manifest, that power to grow and evolve, the power to change like generation to generation and just, create something new. Like I got dreams to be the first millionaire in my family, things like that. So people could try to come in and try to stop me, but it's not about you. Like I got the blinders on. It's about my kids. It's about what we're creating. And so
yeah, man.
That's what. And my oldest and even my 5-year-old, they both are talking about hoodies right now. So there might be some kids hoodies coming out soon. The way that we do things, it's when it's ready. So I don't ever push my kids to design. They'll just come to me with a design, be like, yo, I want to make a new game. Then we make a new game. So
That's rad, man.
People always ask, when's the kid stuff coming? I'm like, I can't tell you. I gotta consult.
You just gotta,
board meeting.
you gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention. All you viewers right now, pay attention. You guys have to be on top of this stuff. Yeah, never a dull moment. And I like the whole people aspect. I mean, life is chaos, and all we can do is we just keep moving. You have to move. Last year, we had an absolutely blockbuster election, the results of which had pretty far-reaching consequences across a lot of the different communities. How do you think about voting and its potential to impact the communities that you're involved in?
I don't know where I sit on voting. Sometimes I understand trying to change, and sometimes it's like these mechanisms are so huge that it's almost like creating new communities. And that's kind of what pushed me into business and what keeps me out of politics. I had some people this year trying to push me to run for city council. I didn't want to do it. There's no way I want to be on city council and have all my energy be sucked out by the system. So I think for some people, being within and being able to create change there, like we all need it. But at the same time, my perspective is kind of having that autonomy to be able to tell these stories and do it in your way. And then also give the secrets of the system, how it works, how it flows, how you could navigate this, how you can flip it, which was kind of, I think, what Camille was talking about, is just like that insight, that knowledge of how it works. And once people know how things work, they can switch and navigate it or create what they need out of it. I think the positions of power still sit with the wrong people. And I think that's where change is needed the most, is those big heads, the right people in it, that will create that change fast. Because like when you like a CEO of a company, or when you sit in those positions of power, everything trickles down after you, like even people that would want to speak up, sometimes they can't. That's their life, that's their kids' rent, like they gotta have those things. So I think having effective change is going to take many different ways. It's going to take the system being affected from within. It's going to take us creating our own communities. It's going to take us like even abolishing capitalism in new ways, trading, getting back to like working in unison with each other, and to hear about like even the things Zoomies was doing and the vision going forward was a big thing about being a part of that and being connected to it.
Yeah.
There was a few people that hit me up who have mobilized story, but it just didn't fit, and they weren't there to tell that story. And I think it's really cool to see somebody like Zoomies doing things like this, because it's inspiring in those ways to know that a company is going to stand for what it believes in. And it seems like a weird thing because you think everybody should do that, but out in the business world, it ain't like that. It's dog eat dog, and people don't move like that. And so it's a whole different system. There's a lot of change makers that are coming that already exist, and it's just creating space for them. So I think if we, find the right people, do your homework, always like seek knowledge, educate yourself and know how you can affect change in your area. Because that's where it begins. It begins first with you, your community, and it extends from there. So you have to create change there. So where I'm focused is flipping my city. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I want to create things for the youth that I never had when I was coming up. And I want to just do it through the brand, just do it in our own ways, like I want to have my own court where kids can come and train and play ball and get, I got a college scholarship out of it. And that's what helped me learn about business a little bit more. And so I've seen the ways that we can, and I think change is going to come in many ways. And that's the way that I've been taught as well. Is that we have to begin first with our community. And as we start to flip all of our communities, change will come. There's many of us, there's too many of us.
I love that. I got one last question for you, Dusty. The brand you've created is inspiring and is making a real impact. What advice do you give our audience to stand up for what matters to them?
To listen to your gut. When it tells you to speak, when it tells you to make noise, do it. Many times along my journey, I get into spaces and it just be like, yo, you gotta say something about that. You gotta say something about that. I'd be like, okay, fine. And I do it, and change would come. And I got to the place where I got to in my city, I've got to speak to the chief of police. I've got to tell him what's going on the ground. And that's because I've kind of put myself in the position to be like, yo, I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm just going to speak from my heart and to speak up, but also to speak true from you. Don't try to like, make up a narrative you don't know about, but just speak your truth. Because you, as an individual, everybody should respect everybody's truth. And that's nobody's to speak on. I had this conversation with my kid today. We were talking about something and he was like, yo, that's what I think. You can't talk to that. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Like, that's your perspective. I can't tell you that your perspective is wrong. I don't see it from that level. We got to have a real conversation like that. Just kind of like, it's cool that this question comes up because that's the place I'm in. And I learn from my kids. These are like my little elders. I learn from the old people in my life. Those are my real elders. But this is who I learn from. This is the knowledge that I bring forward. Like even in Mobilize, most of the colorways I use is from my kids' toys. Like we'll be playing toys together. We'll be playing Lego and be like, oh damn, that green and that tan, like that's sick. And it's just a way to be able to bring more life and color to the world. But also like our teaching is that our ancestors, they see these bright colors. And so we're kind of speaking through these bright colors as well. We're kind of calling that energy to it and making it present and making it inclusive and fluid and, it's ever changing. And I don't believe even today, I had no clue what I was going to talk about. Even now, I don't. Like, I'm here just to speak from my heart and let what comes out come out. And that's the best I can give you today, type of thing.
Man, we appreciate it. We really do. I like that you're a golfer and we base it off of our gut. I'm a field player. I always have been. Tiger Woods is a field player. He always has been. And I get hungry a lot. I feel that a lot. I really like that analogy that you used. That's so sick, dude. I love that you're just coming in being as real as you possibly can be, not only for us, but for all of our viewers. It's nice to see a brand owner that is just going with the flow, having fun, enjoying life at its fullest and not taking any shit, I guess, is what I would say. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. But that being said, man, is there anything that you'd like to share with our audience? I'm gonna pass the mic over to you. Have at it. Spotlight, it's all on you right now. It's all on you right now, Dusty.
Yeah, no, every time that I finish, I always like to go back to that self-love and just remind people of that journey of taking your power back, like getting to that place where you don't give a fuck what people think. Sometimes I go out with the goofiest outfits and things on because it makes me feel good. And I don't give a fuck what people think about it, like, and that's what I'm here for, like even my kids are the same way. Like we'll all go out. Like my kid will go out as Batman. Like you don't care. Like, and you see it with youth. You see how they move, how they haven't been affected by society. And I think we all deserve to get back to that place. We all deserve to become kid-like again. And I think that's, for me, that journey of healing. It took a lot of years to get to that, I have this birthmark on my forehead that I hid for like 20 years. Like I just didn't even want to let people see it. And I didn't know that was part of loving myself. I didn't know that was part of accepting myself. And as that happened, like more of my art and design and artistic side started to flow. And so for me, it's been a journey of self-love. So I always try to remind people of that. And if you are curious about clothing design, hit me up on Instagram. Like just DM me. I respond to like everybody because I'm like, yo, you should be able to reach people, man. If you want to know about stuff, you should be able to ask it. So if you have questions about design, you have questions about Indigenous people, if you are an Indigenous person, just want to learn about yourself, you want to learn about people in your area that are cool artists, hit me up. I'm here. I'm a resource. And I think we all win together. So don't worry about competing. Just worry about you.
Self-love. That's awesome. I personally will be hitting you up for some new attire out on the course. It's going down. I'm telling you. That's so awesome. Great message you're pushing. And that's, again, thank you. I feel great. Thanks for joining us on Stand Up TV. You guys can find Mobilize at Zoomies if you click the Twitch banner below this stream and check out product on zoomies.com. Hit up Dusty. He just said that he's going to respond to you. So what more do you need to write the guy? Write him. support the cause, take no shit from nobody. I'm going to pass it over to Key.
All right, Dusty, you will be hearing from me. We'll be right back with this month's community highlights, y'all.
Welcome back, guys. Sorry for the minor delay. We heard not too long ago that you guys wanted us to bring someone on. And unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we are unable to bring Ezra on. She is one of our Discord members. She's doing a lot of really cool things right now. And we're looking forward to having her on our next episode next week, if I'm not mistaken. So with that being said, look out for that. Hey, Key, how you feeling so far?
I'm feeling great, bro. I'm having a great day. Everything's moving smooth. How's it going over there? I see you in your store. How things going?
Whew. Tax-free weekends definitely closing in on us, and we're seeing a lot of those school shoppers, and we're seeing a lot of other shoppers. I don't know. Are you in school, bro? You want to say what's up? You want to say what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Zoomies Discord. Let's go. Yeah, it's busy. We're having fun. We're enjoying ourselves. August 23rd is going to be the next stream for the Stand Up TV, guys. That will be episode 3, if I'm not mistaken. Key, I've had so much fun. We've talked to a couple of brand owners. We've learned a little bit about what's going on in Texas. We got to talk with Mobilize and everything that they're doing and what they're about. Got to work on my golf game a little bit, metaphorically speaking, because I am at work right now. I'm super stoked. I'm pretty sure we gave a couple of gift cards out too. So props again to our gift card winners. But unfortunately, that's going to be a wrap, guys. Obviously, we want to give a huge shout out to Camille, Cassidy, Dusty, and unfortunately, we're going to give props to Ezra, if I'm not mistaken. She'll be back real soon. Thanks to all of you guys for tuning in and testing your news knowledge and hanging out with us. Stand Up TV again. I repeat, August 23rd. Please be there. We would love to see you. And I'm going to pass it off to Key before we get out of here.
All right, y'all. Don't forget, from the LGBTQ plus community to the environment to just about anything you care about, you can impact all of it by voting, especially in the local elections. Make sure you're registered and know about your local elections in your state and city. Head to rockthevote.org for information on elections in your state and how to stand up and vote.
Again, guys, that's going to be www.rockthevote.org/how-to-vote. Please get up, stand up. Let's hear that voice. Let's see you guys do what you do best. Move. Just like the owner, Dusty from Mobilize, said, keep moving. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget, stand up, get involved once again. We'll see you guys on the 23rd for the next stream of Stand Up TV. Key, it's been real. I'm out of here.
It's been a pleasure. See you guys.